644. Welcome back to Great Day. Lou, Jackie, and Jason here, along with Ron, the car guy, who's going to be pummeled with questions here today because Ron, on the way in this morning, on 235, before I got to Euclid, the lights come on my dashboard. This is what it did. Are you kidding me? It was not like this when I started, Ron. I just had this fixed maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago when this thing happened before. How can I have low? Did I hit something, or is it just because of the cooler temperatures?
Well, you know, it could be because it's 40-some degrees out this morning, especially probably when you were driving.
Now, Jackie, you mentioned you had something going on with yours, too.
Yeah, but mine has been in these hot temperatures as well. So I think as Ron has talked to us before, I think my sensor is going out because it's one tire. It indicates one tire, and I keep checking the tire, and it's not low.
Did it eventually go off?
No,
or did it stay on?
It's
still on.
Mine always eventually goes off.
And so that tells me that you possibly do have a low tire. You know, the thing to do would be obviously check the tire pressure on all four. I know on your car you don't have one in the spare, so we don't have to worry about that like a Toyota. But certainly we can start seeing the fluctuations now.
This time of year.
Exactly. As it gets cold, I mean, those systems are so sensitive. I mean, if you drop, 3-4 pounds of pressure, sometimes it'll trigger that low tire light.
Now, Ron, how do we keep those fluctuations from happening?
We put nitrogen in our tires, which is not affected by temperature.
I do have in my tires, which Ron, the car guy's amazing crew, has told me many times, Jackie, you need new tires, which I know, and I'm working on it.
But now your replaced tires light doesn't come on. It's your low tire pressure light that comes on.
Right. So until the replacement tire
but if yours has a bad sensor and you replace that at the time of putting new tires on the car, you'll save the labor of changing the sensor. Because we take it out anyway.
Right.
So you're being a smart shopper.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm just saving up.
This morning we're going to be talking about something involving some extra sports that people might have. Maybe you go out boating or ATVing and you drag a trailer around.
Correct. Or maybe you use one for your job. You're a contractor or somebody that hauls around a skid loader or something. But I did want to talk about trailers because I've seen this, and we've all seen it. You drive down the highway, drive down the interstate, and here's a car sitting alongside the road, and there's a boat on the back or whatever, and the wheel's missing, the wheel's off. Well, someone didn't take the wheel off. What's happened is lack of maintenance caused the bearings to fail, and the wheel flies off the vehicle.
Oh, look at that.
And with any luck, excuse me, it's the one that faces the ditch so it doesn't hit another car or create an accident or something. But we see people with trailers for all kinds of things to haul stuff from Menards on the weekend or can I say their name? Are they an advertiser?
Yeah, they are. Right. Yeah, save big money at Menards.
There we go. All right, got that plug in. But trailers, race cars, snowmobiles. I mean, trailers are commonplace and they're used, and people forget about them. I mean, you hook onto the trailer and you go.
Right.
And there is maintenance related to a trailer. Obviously, the number one that we see is the wheel bearings, as shown in that picture.
Or when they go bad.
And you can look at this. I mean, those you see the one on the right at the top. You can see the little roller is falling out of the cage, or even down at the bottom. Those are called the race or the cup. The bearing goes in, and that should be shiny, polished, smooth. And you can see on both of those, it looks rough and pitted. Exactly, and that's because of lack of lubrication. I mean, there's grease that's packed in there. And in that grease, that bearing spins at the speed of the tire, actually faster than the tire because it's smaller. And it needs lubrication, and that should periodically be taken apart and cleaned. There's adjustments that need to be done to those bearings.
How often do you think this should be done?
Typically, it's going to depend on how much you use your trailer. I mean, like in your case, I mean, you're out every weekend using it, and you're towing it to other cities and stuff like that. If you've got somebody that uses a trailer, on a routine basis, a band or something, I mean, I recommend once a year because there's no way to check mileage on a trailer. You don't really know how many miles you pulled that trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you've got the small trailer and you use it to haul some brush or firewood or something a couple times a year, then maybe every 2 or 3 years. It's just it's kind of a guesstimate at best. The boat trailers are the most abused because whenever you put your boat in the water, you back the trailer, the wheels, into the water.
Right.
And now you risk getting water inside those bearings, and then you go drive it down the road at 60 miles an hour, And so boat trailers, I mean, I recommend if you're using it, 2 or 3 times a month, or every weekend, boat trailers should be, serviced a couple times a year. I mean, and there's a difference between, maybe you live in Altoona and you take the boat up to Saylorville.
Right.
That's a short trip, but then all of a sudden, one weekend you decide to go to Lake of the Ozarks, and you're going to pull it for 6 hours. I mean, now that wheel turns for 6 hours, the bearings get hot, and that's when they tend to fail. So, bearing failure is the most common things that we see on trailers. And
now we know that Ron, the car guy, you guys do cars and trucks. What about trailers? We do wheel bearings too?
There's nothing we can't do on a trailer. I mean, if it needs, some welding repair, electrical systems are the other thing. A light don't work, and when you put the trailer away and the light didn't work, well, the next time you go to use it, if you didn't fix it, it's still not going to work.
Or the emergency brake cable that's on. I see a lot of these that will rub on the ground and break.
Exactly, the safety chains, they rust where they're welded on there. I mean, is that solid, or can you break the chain off? I mean, it's there for a reason.
You guys can take care of all that.
Absolutely. Okay. The jack that raises it up and down, we can do all that stuff on a trailer. Okay. Other thing to keep in mind on trailers, the tires. You're probably not going to wear tires out on a trailer. They're not going to be bald. Right. But what's the life expectancy of a tire?
12 years. I just found that out.
6.
No, for mine was 12.
Oh, yours was 12?
Yeah, I just found that out 2 weeks ago.
Is it the sun that breaks them down most times?
Yeah, the sun and just the ozone in the air.
6 years, really?
6 years is the life expectancy of a tire. And what I have seen is people, maybe they got a dual axle trailer, so it's got 4 tires on it. Right. Well, one tire will blow out, so they'll replace one tire. Oh. Well, the other 3 are the same age, so the next time they use it, the next one blows out, or you blow one out on the right side, and now all that weight's on the remaining tire. Well, it's going to go relatively soon. Before I came on, I was talking to Jeff, the engineer out here, and he said, he had asked what I was talking about, and I said trailers. He goes, did you ever notice most people don't carry a spare tire for their trailer? Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Makes good sense.
It does make good sense.
Yeah, yep. I mean, how much could a wheel cost and an extra tire? And then, and I'm sure you thought of this or found out when you bought tires, get tires that are made for a trailer.
You have to make sure that the ply rating is sufficient enough to carry the weight that you're carrying.
Exactly. If it's got a 15-inch tire on it, don't just put a 15-inch car tire on it, because it isn't going to work.
Mm-hmm. What I'm hearing here is don't buy anything that requires a trailer. This makes life a lot easier.
I'm still just working on my car. I can't even think about a trailer.
Make a friend that has a boat.
But if you don't, or go rent a boat.
Right.
Yeah, just arrive at the marina, rent it, go out, drive it, park it. There you go.
You're done.
But it's something to think about, because I definitely have someone who has a trailer with snowmobiles on them that only gets moved probably once or twice a year if they're lucky. And it's like you wonder. It's like they hook it up, they take off. It's like, when's the last time you looked at that?
You don't. I mean, most people don't. It's just out of sight, out of mind. Oh, we need to use the trailer. You go, dig it out of the tall grass.
Yeah, exactly.
All summer, hook it up, and it's just supposed to go.
Kick the mice out.
Exactly. So I mean, if you use it regularly, I mean, a good annual inspection of the lights and the bearings and the tires and all that is in order. And if you don't use it very often, maybe just check it out every couple of years.
Now, there's a deal you can put on where the bearings need to be lubricated, where you can just grease them.
Great point. They're called bearing buddies.
Mm-hmm. Bearing buddies.
Yep, bearing buddy. And it replaces the dust cap on the outside, and you can just put grease in there. And that's better than doing nothing. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't give you a visual inspection of that bearing. People tend to put too much grease in there, so then it pushes the seal out on the other side, and now the dirt and contaminants can come in through there.
Grind on it.
Exactly. So there's really no substitution for proper maintenance. Yeah, and that's what the manufacturers require.
There you go.
More importantly, we learned this morning, besides Ron knowing all this knowledge about trailers, is he also has a knowledge about Wienermobiles.
The Wienermobile
is going to be here a little later on this morning, okay? So you have a chance if you want to come over to where the station is. It's going to be parked right across the street, so you can get your picture taken next to the Wienermobile.
That's my claim to fame, is in 1989 I replaced the fuel pump on a Wienermobile.
All right, he's a Wienermobile expert.
We can do it all.
Now, that's something you should put on your business card. I even fixed the Wienermobile.
That's right.
How about that?
That's right.
If I can fix the Wienermobile, I can fix your car. How about that? Good job, Ron.
Thank you.
As always, we'll be right back. This is a great day.